Astralis holding onto it, excuse me. So it was, you know, Device on the boost who got blind as well, but then it was Glaive who got isolated while Flash, so his teammates couldn't help him. And then this was fantastic. You know, this is exactly what we want to see. Yeah, they ran the clock close, but they still had enough time to plant comfortably with cover on 2 players. So even though 1 player dies, their res is right there to make sure that that doesn't get out of hand, and then
Fair.
It's a really difficult 1v3.
I think a significant difference in that round too is the moment Lekro's caught off on the other side of the map. I don't think Nip wasted as much time as they had previously when Dupree can come down connector and sniff out the entire clear A site. This time he finds Lekro not push forward through bathrooms alone, but rather just at the tip of connector, and he has no clue whether there are more players there. I think Nip recognized this and they make the most of their positioning. That close proximity to the B site, the swarm into it. And a 5th round now theirs. So 8-7 still a possibility for the Ninjas.
If I'm them, I have lost so many rounds in a row. I need to get the second one again. I attack the same way I attack the same place in a new way, and just because I know that works the best. I feel very unconfident for NIP if they decide to go to A once again, so like to see them go for short control, which they have right now. We'll see if Astralis can adjust differently. I think there's a lot of pressure on them to make up for what they missed last round, because I think now, you know, they've whittled their economy down quite a bit. They still have a little bit of money in the bank, but a second hit like this could be amazing to bring the half back for NIP.
Yeah, start it strong and finish it strong and just forget about the middle. Got the rounds to make it happen, and this time Lekro will catch a single kill. Excellent flash versus Dupree, but Glaive now just standing out in the open. That's an easy picking for Forrest. Chops down the entire defense of this A site. That's at least a 6.
That was awesome. I think it was a team flash, though, that blinded Dupree, who wanted to peek on the outside of the bathrooms, and I think was just bugging it with a shoulder peek, but then ended up eating the flash head on. I'm not sure. Could have been a different round indeed, and I guess they were relying on the fact that if they pushed onto short control, they'd squeeze Dupree out into pushing bathrooms like he has been doing, and then they got what they wanted, so they were pretty prepared for it. Maybe would have gotten that kill even if the flash went better for Astralis, but another round solid for NIP. They got the map control they wanted to. This time, instead of focusing on bathrooms first, they go for short control once again, and then they actually throw it back to A, and it was a 2-3, so it was the better site for them to hit. Made that round as easy as possible. Avoiding the op is always a really good sign when you see Opera saving, that the T's got what they wanted. And there are a couple kills, but it's not going to be too much of a problem for NIP. They have enough to buy. It's more important that Astralis save there, so you can't blame them for hunting those kills. And in terms of frags, you can see these 2 players locking down opposite sites. It's, you know, Device who's gotten the majority over at B, and then Dupree on the A site when things go awry.
Oh boy, that double off setup so deadly. Back in action for the final and 15th round of the half.
Damn.
Again, we get that damage from the same aggressive peak. And Glaive aggressive in his positioning, already up into the corner. Lekro seems to know, but oh man, he nearly cleans up all 3. Swift double headshot for the in-game leader of Astralis, and now Dupree's going to capitalize on this. You know, again, not allowing Nip to get comfortable. They think finally we've dealt with that threat, but the threat still looms near. And Dupree's not going anywhere. He's going to eat a flashbang, which enables Forrest to exit, but keep your eyes on the radar, because Device, sure enough, wants to hit from behind. Simple.
Easy does it.
Too simple. A spinal tap. Primary opper. Mr. Lindbergh left up. What you gonna do, buddy? 45 seconds. He's got the bomb at least. It's always a nice place to start. And if he can clear Device, then he can actually fixate on the A site. Problem being, he knows he needs to kill Device before anything else. You know, 1v4s aren't common. They are a masterpiece of beauty when they do unfold. So, Mohan, place your chips. Has he got this?
Astralis.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, it's an open route towards the B site too. You know, if this is a 20-piece puzzle, the first 2 have fallen into order. He finds Device, he gets an open route to the B site. third play, plant the bomb, but that's not even going to happen. Zipex on the cross will establish that 3-round lead. It is Astralis 9-6 after their CT side.
And the only reason that the half looks kind of close is because Nip started to figure things out towards the end, and they got those nice 3 rifle rounds to start off the half after losing the pistol. And maybe if not for the pistol, they might even be, you know, numerically in the lead, if that means anything. But I feel like Astralis overall really had a better read on the game. They did a better job of adapting to their own mistakes by picking up the double op to start things off, and then figuring out how to be more aggressive as they moved into the next half, or the next few rounds. And so, yeah, Nip were always playing from behind, I feel like. So even though they had some nice rounds to show for it, it didn't really feel like if the half played out longer that they'd ever be able to get a strong lead. So now we are into the pistol of the second half, and Nip have 6 rounds already. They got destroyed yesterday. They played, I think, was MIBR and lost 16-6.
Yep.
So a lot of us saw that and we're like, okay, well, where does that leave Nip at the moment? I really wonder, and it seems like they may be a little bit better today, but there's not too much we can derive from their result versus another team. Oh.
Little flurry of frags here. Bottom of connector. CT set scrambling, and oh boy, Rez, he's only getting himself 1. Good trade frag, efficiently putting that bomb down. Glaive gonna call for his teammates to come join him, and they have a bit of a scramble, a bit of a sprint to come through these washrooms. All the while, Nip will get into position for this retake. Now, Get Right has that kit, and he even has a smoke. That always throws things into question. You know, you can really set the T's on a scramble if you also have cover, but now that he's alone, it goes from bad to worse, and he's been spotted. So they are going to swarm forward and deal with him swiftly. That's Astralis with the second pistol.
An insane pistol stat percentage for them, where they won, you know, I think, I want to say 4 of the pistols yesterday, even though I'm not exactly sure if that's accurate. It was either 3 or 4. Now they have 2 more, so that's going to be a big reason why we see them so far in the lead. I think, you know, with this map, it's going to be hard to say that they don't make the finals straight up. It's, you know,
right.
The other teams that will have to just win all their games basically in a row, and it leaves Nip almost completely out if they can't pull this one back. But pistols, again, just such a big part of the storyline here for Astralis. So strong on the pistol rounds. 5 CTs in the stairs with pistols. Who do you take, Magisk or 5?
I'm going to say Magisk.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
We saw him with some killer anti-ecos yesterday. Let's see if he can pick up the pieces.
Look at this. He's already done so much damage to them.
1, 2. Hey, you get out of here, Zipex.
Yeah, Zipex, let him work. Let's see. We're trying to figure out. Oh, this is what happened yesterday. Zipex comes in as a cleanup crew.
Listen, after his performance yesterday, he's going to need to pick up some anti-ecos. Okay?
Really the Zamboni of Astralis.
But that's, again, that's the classic, like, mistake minimalization from Astralis. Magisk, sure, he's so willing to try and take them all. But the moment he gets a headshot and he has 15 health, he's just gone. You know? He's not risking anything. He's got too much to lose. So, racks up some stacks, allows Zipex to do the exact same, and it's with that flurry of cash that we find ourselves in the first gun round of this second half. Only 1 AUG, and it belongs to Rez.
I'd like to see more of them, but I'm at least happy to see 1 for sure. Ooh, Forrest, that uses a few too many bullets than he'd feel comfortable with if he didn't have to, but he at least gets the 1 kill. 4-3 at the moment. Glaive is low. Get Right just has stairs control behind a terrorist who he knows is out there, and is instead going to communicate this and go for a big flank. Yeah. Bomb will be trapped. Glaive doesn't catch Get Right off guard, and he does! What a fantastic reaction. Instant headshot, and he had such low HP as well.
That's a big one. Good ears on Magisk, because he flies out through the connector door. He hears Get Right make that step off the staircase. So while Get Right thinks he's sneaky, it was an inevitable death. Mind you, it does have to be coupled with what you said. A fantastic headshot. Glaive's such a liability at that point. Imagine if you have Get Right behind you with the bomb at his feet, and then you have no clue where he gets off to. Big moment. Pushes it down into Dennis and Lekro. Single flash between the two, and only 1 man on this bomb site. So best of luck, dear Dennis. He'll kick it off with 1, catches the second, and oh so close to that third. But it's Lekro to try and clutch. And he's going to have to play it fast. Like we said, no kit for this retake, but he already does have fast footing behind them. It's a duel straight down the door, and Device will win it. 12-6, they double the score, and Astralis are looking hot.
It was a really cool attempt there from Dennis. We don't typically see him be that amazing on solo site holds, but Nearly locked down the 3K spray down, that which would have certainly brought the round back into their favor, even though it was a 4v2 at that moment. So fantastic attempt by him. But once again, look at the awareness by Glaive. Fantastic crosshair placement. Made that shot look so much easier from his perspective than it must have looked on Get Right's screen. Absolutely blew him away. And just brought it right back. And Get Right had that whole time had the option of trying to flank somebody, maybe getting a kill at short, but then being in kind of an expected position. Now Nib have to save. Forrest goes down right away. The team assist flash from the peek the tunnel, but Zipix was not blind. 2 up for NIP in the site. Bomb out at side B. 5 Ts remain. And they are working everywhere individually, but carefully.
Calculated and cool. They're going to take the entirety of their half of the map. Get Right in a cheeky spot. Looking to get a little damage done, but Zipix comes wide and clears him. Even with the M4A1S, he has the advantage, and even a second headshot. Lekro tries to escape, and he's clipped from behind. Device now spotting the shadow, gets drawn into the open, and he knows exactly where they're at, so it is all too easy. Again, 5 alive in these anti-ecos, and that's the thing when you're facing Astralis. Like, not only are you going to have to handle 5 individually skilled players, but 5 players who also minimize all those mistakes. You know, when you're down this many rounds, the best way to get back into the game by punishing mistakes. But what do you do when your opponents don't make them?
Yeah,